first, continuing coverage from a weekend kidnapping that ended with a farmer finding a baby left on his front step. Thanks for joining us tonight on Local 4 News at 5. I'm Spencer Schubert.
And I'm Danielle Shank. Well, a terrifying few hours for one Grand Island family ends with some serious charges for two central Nebraska teens. 18-year-old Tate Wolf of Kearney and 17-year-old Joseph McAllister of Hastings are facing 9 felony charges, including kidnapping and child abuse, after police say they stole a vehicle with 3 children inside and abandoned them in sub-zero temperatures. Both appeared in court this morning, where their bond was set at 10% of $1 million.
And here's a look at the timeline of what led up to those charges. This is the area where Wolf and McAllister are accused of stealing a Chevy Traverse around 3 a.m. Sunday in the 1400 block of North Wheeler. Inside of that vehicle were 3 kids, ages 5, 1, and just 7 months old. A short time later, GI police attempted to stop the vehicle, not aware that the kids were inside. An investigation led officers to Buffalo County, where the Buffalo County Sheriff and the Nebraska State Patrol found that stolen Traverse, and investigators used thermal imaging drones to find the suspects. GI Police Chief Kevin Denny says in just the short time that he's been with the department, he's impressed with how this case all came together.
For the time I've been here, just a short time I've been here, I've been very impressed with the department, with each of the officers, and this incident exemplifies that. I couldn't be more impressed with how they responded to this and did what police officers do all around the country, but did here to save these 3 kids.
Just before 5 Sunday morning, GI police found the 5- and 1-year-olds inside a truck that had been stolen out of Kearney, and that's thanks to an interview they conducted with Wolf. Well, as for that baby, it's a harrowing story of how that infant was actually found. And
it all started with a county-wide alert. Local 4's Casey Mintz joins us now from the Grand Island newsroom with the rest of the story. Casey, take it away.
Guys, many Hall County residents were awoken early yesterday morning with a county-wide alert. It said simply, look on property for 7-month-old male in car seat. And it's that alert that could have saved the baby's life. When that alert came down, Chuck Sorahan was in bed sleeping, but he decided to get up when that alert came in and have a look around his house on the 3600 block of Alda Road. He checked all the points of his house outside, and then he checked one final area, and that was his south porch. There he found a baby carrier on the top step going up to the deck. Chuck brought the baby into the house. Then he called his wife Suzanne, who said the baby initially looked cold and lifeless. But once Chuck sat the baby down in front of the fireplace, well, that was another story.
His eyes were closed and the little hands were up on his chest, and I was thinking the worst at that point, but within probably half a minute, it went from there to he was crying, and it was the best cry I'd ever heard, honestly.
And Chuck went on to say after that cry, law enforcement and medical professionals were there in minutes to take care of the baby. Sorahan says it was good the baby was on the south side of the house because it was shielded a little from the wind chills of Sunday morning. And he says even though he has security cameras, if it wasn't for that countywide alert, he doesn't know if he would have gotten up and looked around his property. Guys, back to you in Hastings.
All right, thank you, Casey. And all 3 of the children have been treated for suspected hypothermia and frostbite and are back with their family. Grand Island police say they investigated and found no negligent behavior on behalf of the parents. Captain Jim During says they are the victims in this case, adding that the parents loaded the kids in the running vehicle because it was cold, and while speaking with neighbors, the suspects stole the Traverse. This was backed up by video evidence.